Hello and welcome again to Living and Active. This is going to be episode 1 of Strummin' and Gummin'. It's that series I keep talking about I'm going to make. Nobody cares what my GMRS call sign is in this particular series, so I'm not going to give it. Now, if you were paying attention in the community tab, if you've been here long enough, I had said that I was going to go at some point to my storage unit this week and get my camera gear so I could specifically record this series. Full disclaimer, I am a self-taught musician and I use the musician term extremely lightly. But anyway, I was motivated earlier today to I had said in the community that I was going to make sure that I got the equipment by Wednesday so that I could start recording, with the first episode being recorded on Wednesday. As of the moment of this recording, I am a liar by 42 minutes Central Time. However, if you happen to be in Mountain or Pacific Time at this very moment, I am still a man of my word. Man of my word or not, the other reason why I had been wanting for like a week to get out to my storage unit, you go grab the guitar. By the way, if the sound is a little weird, I'm trying something to try to take out some of the underwater sounds that are on some of my shorts with the music playing. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to try it. But anyway, I realized that today was Wednesday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Today is Thanksgiving Day. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. I hope all of you who have your families around you are, well, let's just say, our Father, bring peace and grace and the comfort and joy that we can have through Christ, His Son, to all of us, whether we have our families around us or not. And let there be extra joy to those who do, and extra comfort to those who don't. But you will notice is as I go through this video, I'm actually only playing rhythmic variations of the same basic strum pattern, the same exact chording and all of that other stuff. This is based off of an original tune that I wrote with this guitar over a very, very, very long winter, called Rahab's Lament. And I got the idea because at the time I had an electric guitar. I have an electric guitar now, but it's a different electric guitar. And I had named it Rahab. And I might get into that story as we progress through the series. I don't know. But I had started strumming, like just playing around on the electric guitar, and I actually stumbled across. Well, I'll just play it the way this is going to be ugly. but I'll just play it the way I heard it first on the electric guitar that was named Rahab and turned it into Rahab's Lament. That's it. That's the whole thing. So I accidentally found my way into that one on the electric guitar. By the way, let me introduce you to tonight's star performer. This is an Ibanez PN1 parlor acoustic guitar that goes by the name of Rachel, or affectionately termed the musical peanut, because why not? And the reason why she is Rachel is because I had been shopping for musicals. I've been wanting to be a musician my entire life. I've never had, I don't mean to blame my failure to do so on circumstances or people unnecessarily, but there is a certain reality where if you're not having the support of the people who think you should be doing other things and make more money more quickly, um, it's just not easy to justify doing things like buying instruments, spending time learning how to play them, etc. So now that I have no people that would say such things in my life, and now that I have no ability to work um, as people see work, I'm still very busy. Due to the disability, I figure I am all out of excuses. And since God doesn't waste anything, and neither should we, there's got to be a reason why I have had this lifelong, unrealized dream, desire to be a musician. Now, I've got to be a little bit careful because I'm almost automatically palm muting every single thing I play because of the wrist braces. Um, oh, I just remembered. I promised one of my subscribers that if I ever got the chance and started this series, I would actually do a show and tell of uh, of what this specific song and this specific guitar did to my fingernails. I don't know if you can see that, but if you can tell, the fingernail on my middle finger is not like the fingernails on the other fingers. What happened was, because I have extremely long periods of incredible pain and sleeplessness that stretch for days at a time, the very specific reason I'd wanted a parlor guitar in the first place was because it was something that was, one, small enough to be managed with my shoulder issues or whatever. I could still play it. Two, it was small enough that I could drag it with me onto the couch or bed or whatever was going on, and just lay it across me and just pick through the many hours of extreme discomfort. So once I accidentally myself into Rahab's Lament on the electric guitar, I would literally spend hours and hours and hours just doing this. But I'd be using my thumb, my index, and my middle, and I would have all of my accents, my heavily accented notes, would be picked with the middle finger. And after, I would easily say, hundreds of hours of doing such without any kind of protection on my fingertip, it actually wore in this groove. Maybe you can see it better now. It wore in a permanent groove into my fingernail that turned into a permanent split. This this has been like this for about 15 months now. It will not grow back. Uh, it's just not going to grow back. That's a permanent fixture of my hand now. So if I ever get famous enough for people to want to impersonate me, check the middle finger of the right hand. Um, so I've had to adjust how I play. Either that or start playing with a finger pick on my middle finger on the right hand. Otherwise, the string will now get caught in that groove and it'll actually make the rip worse. Well, Leland, you say, why don't you just stop playing and let the finger heal? To which I say, no, I've already waited too long. It's not going to happen. The longest I've managed to sit and not play or pick at anything has probably been about a month. And in that month, it showed absolutely no signs of recovery. So I see it as me being permanently scarred and marked with my desire to pursue this passion that the Lord has put into my heart. Or maybe I'm just stubborn. I don't know. I'm sitting here and I'm being all careful in my picking and my strumming and everything. And I'm trying to play well. And in my ears, this sounds beautiful, but it all depends on how much I've succeeded in miking this properly as to whether or not it sounds good to all of you watching and listening, or if it sounds like I'm playing on a potato while holding it underwater. So, going back to the reason why I made the. I've been down for a week. Lots of nerve pain because of the change of seasons, change of weather, always uh, basically blasts me all throughout my central nervous system, lays me out fairly effectively. So I was down for the last week. Every day I would make a plan to try to get out to storage, to get the camera rig set up and everything. Oh, by the way, at one point I will do a show and tell of something that's not a grotesquely disfigured fingernail. And I'll actually show what a neighbor of mine and I have been able to come up with for wheelchair camera rigs. That's some pretty cool stuff. I think it is anyway. But uh, the reason for the urgency today wasn't because I wanted to get it before Thanksgiving. I don't have anything going on tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I have so little going on tomorrow that my upstairs neighbor is going to be using my kitchen to augment her own cooking abilities for the group of people they're going to have. And that's wonderful. That's fine. That's cool. such arrangements have to be made because I can't plan anything. I'm impossible to schedule because I never know when I will or won't be able to actually engage with anything that might be done during a day. My neighbors are very understanding of this. We've been neighbors for 2.5, almost 3 years now. They've been very helpful to me, and I'm very grateful for the blessing they've been. So, of everybody around me in the area I live in, they've had the most exposure to my quirks and foibles, and just kind of some of the intricacies of dealing with a Leland. But I wanted to hurry up and get. I wanted to hurry up and get my camera gear set up because I wanted to shoot a video outside, and I did shoot a video outside, demonstrating the danger of a certain wood-burning camp stove that has found its way onto an Amazon gift list for a certain North Carolina church that's collecting donations for relief after Hurricane Helene. Huge commendable effort, and I'm not spitting on anybody by saying what I'm going to say. I'm just actually trying to protect them and the people they're trying to serve. But there's a massive design flaw in um, in the chimney that they have listed on their gift. By the way, the speech thing is not an unusual happening. As far as I know, I'm not having a stroke. This is part and parcel of the nerve damage and neurological disease that I have on a regular basis. So when I get tired, or like now, I don't have my armrests in my armchair, so I can better face the camera and hold the guitar in my lap. So I'm slowly basically sinking into myself because I don't have much core support or strength. So as that continues and my central nervous system becomes fatigued, it starts affecting my speech. So don't be alarmed. It may sound unusual, and it probably is, but this is pretty much standard standard fare for me. But I shot a video because I have a stove that is modeled. It's the same kind of stove that is on the wish list, whatever. And after I used it twice, it had a massively dangerous creosote buildup that was running out on the outside of the chimney and building up on top of the firebox, making a huge flash fire danger. And it was so bad that I actually got in contact with my local fire chief. And he asked me to take pictures of it and send them to him so that he could use them for part of his training, and so he could do a little bit of anybody that wants to get something like that to supplement their heating and cooking abilities during winter if the power goes down or whatever. He can help people find something that's not going to put them at greater risk. So I shot the video, and I did this. I've tried to do it with some urgency. I shot the video, and I realized after I was watching the video and I was trying to upload it and everything that I had accidentally flagged my neighbor's license plate. I don't like doing things like that. So I sat down to try to edit the plate just to blur the plate out, and YouTube would not let me blur the license plate. And the reason why YouTube would not let me blur the license plate that was quoted to me in the little warning notification that I got when I tried to do it was that claims I had made in my video were being investigated, so I wasn't allowed to alter the content in any way. So I deleted the video and I'm going to reshoot it tomorrow, pointing away from the vehicles so that I don't have that problem and I can still get the information out. By the way, there are 130, the last time I looked, there are 130 of these highly dangerous, not legal to be used in the United States or Canada, wood burning camp style stoves headed to the church in North Carolina. I'm trying to get in touch with them and make sure they acknowledge the fact that these cannot be distributed. They need to be adjusted or repurposed for something else. They'll probably make fine cold smoking chambers for meats or whatever, but they can't be used for what they were designed and sold for. How they want to handle the logistics of 130 at least of these things coming in that can't go out. These are all things they need to prepare for, and so I'm trying to get in touch with them and talk directly to them, so that can happen to protect the lives of other people whose lives are already in jeopardy from the cold, and not to overburden an already overburdened distribution system that they have set up for this disaster relief. So I will be shooting that video tomorrow, and hopefully in the meantime, the comments that I've made and the links that I've left, my little breadcrumb trail that I've left for some of the other YouTube creators and channel owners around the events and the relief and everything else in the communities that have been affected, have seen some of the stuff enough to kind of catch wind that it needs to be dealt with. In these things, I've also left a link many times to the stove I actually bought to replace the dangerous one. It is up to fire safety codes in both the United States and Canada. It functions much better. I've used it to cook on, had no problems, have no problems regulating heat. So any of you watching this, if you want to, please try to pass along the word. The two stoves in question are Deer for Me. This is a brand name on Amazon. Deer for Me, DEERFAMY, and Guide Gear, spelled in English, deceptively spelled correctly in English. It is not an American product. It is in fact a Chinese product. Even when you get it, it will feel solid and sturdy, but the chimney in both the Deer for Me and the Guide Gear stoves are upside down, and the boxes are not welded together right. There's gaps in the welds, and they don't hold their heat, so they don't burn the fuel efficiently, which creates creosote, which builds up in the chimney, which creates a fire hazard. These are very dangerous things, and all it takes is one of these to get to someone and then burn up a family in a tent or something, and then that's going to be the excuse that people use to say, well, I guess you can't have wood burning camp stoves anymore, so we're going to gather them all up, and then people are just stuck without something that could be very much life-saving. So I want to try to stop those before they get out there and cause a bigger problem in a scenario in which the tiny shed homes that are being built and put out on properties are being confiscated. People are being kicked out of them. People for all this time have been wondering where the agencies are, and they've been constantly saying, where are the agencies? Where are the agencies? Well, the agencies are letting people know where they are now, and they're getting involved, and they're shutting everything down. They're making decisions like holding up relief funds. This was done by the governor of North Carolina. He vetoed legislation that would have brought lots of monetary relief to his own people. And he vetoed it because he didn't like the Republican leanings of some of the other terms of the bill. I'm not very familiar with it, but I remember seeing it and being angry about it. For their part, the Republicans should have known better than to play with their constituents' lives by insisting on taxing political language to something that should have been cut and dried for the people who are right now hopefully not freezing to death. But so yeah, that's the thing. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving for all of us uh, here in America, anyway. The holidays are hard for many people, even before disasters. And you're talking about a reality in which not only do a lot of people in that area not know where their family members are, or they do know, and they found out where their family members are through some gruesome discovery or other, still dealing with that traumatic loss. Simultaneously, dealing with all of the betrayals of public office and the concerted effort to throw a monkey wrench in the volunteer efforts to bring people relief, food, warmth, clothing, shelter, whatever. And you have an incredibly horrendous situation that is unimaginable by most people. So, as you're giving thanks, give thanks for the things that you have, for the things and the people that are around you. Yes, obviously. I think it's worth noting that we could also give thanks to God that He knows where every single one of those people are. He knows what they need. He has promised that He is faithful, that He cannot deny Himself, and that He alone reserves the right to be called provider and defender. We have the work that we can do that He puts in front of us for His glory, but ultimately, these things are in His hands. He's the one who makes a way where there is no way, and when there is no way, it's time for us to get out of the way and let God reveal Himself in a way that those watching who deny Him have no choice but to acknowledge that it was God Himself who intervened. So, whether you're spending hours and hours and hours in pain and sleeplessness, laid up in bed, or whether you're cold and alone, still mourning the loss of your family members, your home, your way of life, while simultaneously wondering when the previously missing government agencies are going to find you and take the little you do have. Or whether you are far removed from all of this with your thoughts and concerns and worries of your own. Um, I pray that this Thanksgiving Day, whatever your situation, wherever you may find yourself to be, that you remember if you belong to Christ, you're in His hands. And no one can remove you from them. This has been Strummin' and Gummin', episode 1. Please feel free to leave comments below. Let me know if you have any ideas for further topics or whatever to continue the series. I'm going to try to do different instruments because I have a lot. as we go through the episodes of the series, you do kind of an introduction to all the ones that I have, and then just settle into uh, basically a smorgasbord of playing through whatever I've been able to figure out on whatever instrument, and then just talking about things, answering questions from comments. At some point, maybe if I can set up premieres for these episodes, I will set them up to premiere on Wednesdays. I record them or Saturdays. I'll record them in advance, and then I will set a launch, a release. I don't know how this works, but I'll set it up so that I can watch the launch of the video right along with you guys, and I can talk with you guys in a live chat if you like. And we can just chit chat back and forth, talk about things, pray with and for each other, encourage one another from the word, or talk about music, or just like many of us wish we could do right now, just sit around a campfire or on a porch or something, and pick and and chat and just settle into a calm and fulfilling sort of camaraderie around being the children of God, living in these last days and wading through the horrible with our eyes lifted up because our redemption draws near. Speaking of which, that gives me an idea for something I want to talk about in episode 2 on Saturday. God bless you. God be with you and defend you. And if you can, stay involved in things that keep you tender and gentle and not hardened um, before the Lord. Because getting mad and proving how tough and how determined and tenacious we are is not going to help us. I think that's been proven. Soft answer turns away wrath, and we seek God's glory, not our own. So anyway, this is about the 4th time I've had to try to end this video. I don't know what to say, and I'm getting very tired. So God bless you, and I'll see you next time, if there is a next time, and the Lord is willing.